The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Here we go, Players Lounge. Let's ride. On a Monday.
Old school's in here messing up already.
Monday. Let's get it done with SEC's own Danny McCray.
Yeah.
Heckma Harrison is here.
It's a lot going on, boy.
I'm Newey Scruggs. Congratulations on your conference. Going ahead and making sure everybody remember day number one. Always get a seat at the table in the college football playoff. Congratulations.
You sound upset.
Oh, no.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm not
My
upset
school
about
ain't in it. I'm watching for entertainment. I don't care who's in it if LSU ain't in it.
Actually, LSU was a part of the argument, which was, if you never saw it, well, that was the Florida State folks. Like, hey, we beat LSU, and they're like,
so did Bama.
Yep.
so did Bama.
They took turns.
Wait. That's why, hey, listen. Hey, when you win a natty, you got 5 years at least, okay? You got 5 years at least. We won in 2019. We got 5. I don't want to hear nothing about it.
I don't think at Ocean
Man, I don't have nothing for you today, man.
No. Ocean Run was wilding. It wasn't because of football. So let's not do that.
I ain't got nothing for you today, Danny, man. I know you came in already. You ready to go to war already?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. You know, we was gonna put the LSU stuff in there and all. It's
what was your thoughts, man, on the college football thing, man? When they made the picks, did you feel bad for Florida State?
I feel bad for the players of Florida State, but I understand.
You understand?
I understand because I came up in a time when Notre Dame was going to the national championship and getting the brakes blew off of them every season, and then also we saw TCU go there last year, and everybody, this great story and all that stuff, and they got ran up out the building. They're trying to avoid. I understand that part of it.
How so? I mean, they went out there and beat a Michigan team that was out there cheating. TCU beat them.
They lost
and then with the championship game, yes.
They got, that's what I'm talking about. They got destroyed. I don't think it's about the first.
But nobody thought they should have been in, and then they went out there and they beat Michigan.
And you know what? You know what happened? They lost, and then Florida State should call them and tell them thank you for what's happening to them right now. They don't want to see that. I'm not on the committee.
I don't even, and it's just me, I don't think that was the case. I think at the end of the day, the SEC champion was not going to get left out.
We refer to you on the national championship conversation.
So you believe if Florida State's quarterback was 100% healthy, they would have got left out? Because I don't believe that.
I once told Bill Hancock, who's a retiring executive director of the CFP, I was like, it's only 3 spots available. Mm-hmm. The SEC champion is getting in every year, and it's always happened. And last year, when Saban got left out, boy, he was boo-hooing and hooing. They weren't going to do it again. So if Florida State's quarterback is healthy and they 100%, everybody's healthy, they are undefeated, the ACC champions, who gets left out? Texas?
No.
I'm just saying.
I
don't believe that Florida.
Now,
okay.
You know what? I think you just hit on it. It's probably Texas. But they were not leaving out the SEC champ. Texas probably got left out.
There would have been no way in hell that they could have left Texas out of the city. No way.
Okay, I believe that Alabama,
not in this situation.
Alabama wouldn't have got in. I believe they wouldn't have got in. That's just my belief.
Not after beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
I hear you, man, but this committee is showing you, man, logic does not matter.
Okay, well, look, my whole thing about it, if I'm Florida State, I'm ticked off.
Yeah.
I mean, when y'all were undefeated, correct?
No.
Y'all
lost 2.
Y'all lost 2?
We lost 2, and everybody, if the 3 teams.
How did it happen that y'all got
3 teams ahead of us lost in their championship games after we won the SEC championship? So we needed West Virginia to lose. Somebody like a couple other teams, they all lost. So then that bumped us up. So it wasn't. We didn't get picked over somebody else. Everything happened how we needed it to happen for us to get in.
And you were the SEC champion.
That's right.
And
that's your point.
Yes,
well, we was BCS. I went into college football.
You know what? BCS, the SEC carries weight, except for the one time when Tommy Tuberville was coaching Auburn and decided to have a cupcake schedule, and they said we're going to take Oklahoma and USC. But since then, and by the way, I didn't mind that at all. They weren't the better team. But the two.
That's Tommy Tuberville.
Exactly, they weren't the better team between USC and Oklahoma. But the SEC champion, it's different. The committee views it differently, and it's there. So
we'll agree to disagree. Because like I said, I believe if Florida State's quarterback is there, I believe, and this is just me, that Alabama is going to get left out of there, and you got Texas, Florida State, Washington, and Michigan in there.
The problem I have with it is, how do you put this Power 5 thing together, and then you say that Florida State goes undefeated and they don't make it? You put this together. It's almost like foolproof system that you put together that you wouldn't have to incur something like this, and it happens, and you leave Florida State out. Now, I can see versus the eyeball test why you would leave Florida State out of it. I get it. I understand it. I understand how the SEC gets the natural bid selection with Alabama. It could have been Alabama or Georgia for me, and I wouldn't have had an argument with it either way. But Florida State should be ticked off. You're not going to leave Texas out of it for sure. And man, the Texas-Washington matchup, you're talking about what I can't wait for.
So, but there's a scenario where there could have been 5 undefeated. There's a scenario where there could have been a Washington undefeated, a Georgia undefeated, a Texas undefeated, and a Florida State undefeated, and then who else?
Texas lost to Oklahoma.
I'm saying there's a scenario where that could have happened. Where I'm saying you try to avoid it, but there's still opportunity for somebody to get left out.
Yeah.
No matter what, undefeated, whatever, to get left out and still be upset. So Florida State like that, they lost their quarterback, and I feel bad for them. If I'm a kid on that team, a coach or whatever, we did everything we were supposed to do. Right, yes, but they ain't the first people to get left out.
No. From the time the first ever college football playoff started, they've been hosing folks.
Yeah, they're not the first people to
and they hadn't stopped.
So they in that room now with the rest of them. Like, come on in, come on in.
Here's your invitation.
Yeah, you mention us. We know how you feel. Now, what happens is they go out there and they get blew out by Georgia. Then
which they probably will. I mean,
but
their heart is not going to be in that game.
It better be. But if they beat Georgia, then that's when we the martyrs, and we should have been in. See, I told you. See, I told you.
And people won't care. That's the thing. People won't care. TCU got left out. Went played the Peach Bowl. Beat Ole Miss. Was like, hey, thank you. Enjoy your rings.
If you end up with 3 amazing games, nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care. They gonna say this is great.
And last year, the final 4 games, the two semifinal playoff games last year were great. Yeah. Ohio State had Georgia dead to right. Homeboy missed the field goal. That Michigan TCU game, back and forth game, it was those 2 games were great. Which what everybody wanted in the last one came. But it happened. Your
alma mater, huh?
Hey baby, I went straight down to it was halftime. It was raining. The first time I haven't lived in LA forever. I'd never seen rain like that. And so SoFi Stadium does not have. It ain't got nothing on the sides. It's all sunshine. So it's raining sideways in. They gave us blankets. First it's cold. LA's cold. It's raining sideways. Paper's all wet. Halftime, like midway through the first quarter, I'm like, yeah, this ain't happening. So my man told me they got Randy's Donuts downstairs and some burgers and hot dogs.
Not Randy's.
Yes, they did. They had the Randy's.
Randy.
And I packed everything up.
Time to go.
Went on downstairs. I'm like, I'm going to sit here in the nice warmth in the bow, watch it on TV, and I'll just be ready for interviews. That thing was a wrap.
I will say this, because everybody, if I'm looking at it, I'm saying they wanted the best 4 teams in there. I think we can all agree that Alabama now is a better team than what Florida State will be able to put on the field.
Absolutely.
From an entertainment standpoint, they're definitely going to these games should be entertaining. I am very much looking forward to Texas. Rude to our man Derek Eagleton, his Longhorns going to be there. But it's a rematch between the Alamo Bowl, which Washington beat them last year, San Antonio 27-20. Then it's Michigan and Alabama. We saw when they announced it, the Michigan folks was like, oh.
We got this.
We don't want this smoke. What did we do to earn this smoke?
They clap with
it's football, man. Alabama has gotten a lot better. Since the beginning of the season. The quarterback has gotten better, got benched, came back. He looks like a totally different player. I know what happened with Auburn. That is a rivalry game. It is usually going to be some weird type of stuff happening in that game. But they are a better team than what they were at the beginning of the season.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. Shaq Leonard has decided to sign with Philadelphia, and I kind of felt that was where it was going.
From that picture that you sent?
That's my man John Clark up there, NBC Philadelphia. It was like, yeah, okay, that's where he'll probably end up going. I guess he was the security guard who got kicked out the other night and who picked him up from the airport.
Dom,
yeah. My man Dom. Good old Dom.
Okay, yeah.
Setting traps.
He better not touch Michael Parsons because he might get the full hit on Sunday over AT&T Stadium. So he signs a 1-year deal with them. They need the linebackers. So, okay, it is what it is. Well, be interesting to see does Shaquille Leonard actually play this weekend against the Cowboys and how much he does play. But he's going to go to Philadelphia. I'm not shocked at all. The Cowboys obviously made the pitch heck. They showed him how they could use him, but he decided to go up there to Philadelphia.
I told y'all from the beginning I didn't want him to use us as a bargaining chip. I meant it. Don't let him out of the building. If he's serious about us, he knew where he wanted to go from the beginning to me. If he wanted to be here, he would have signed with us. I think Philadelphia, especially with their need at the linebacker position, they're suffering right now. Are the Cowboys suffering at the same pace that the Eagles are? No. So obviously when it came down to the negotiation standpoint, he had more leverage and probably leveraged yesterday's game versus see you need me. So they made the move that was probably beneficial for them, but still, man, you got a player that maybe has some health issues. It may not be the long-term answer for them if he can't get healthy this year.
Yeah, I think he could have helped us. I think he could have helped us. It's unfortunate that he did go to the Eagles, but like I said, it is what it is. Like it happens. You had an opportunity. He decided he wanted to go somewhere else. Now he got to see us, hopefully, on Sunday. One of them big-time runs that Tony Pollard been putting on these defenders. Maybe you see one of them this Sunday. So, I mean, I still think we have enough to do what we need to do to go out there and get the win against the Eagles as long as we show up, how we've been playing and we don't take a step back. I think we'll be okay. We're gonna have a fired-up Eagles team, though, coming here. So it's going to be some fireworks.
The Cowboys-Eagle game on NBC Sunday Night Football. It is the marquee game. It is going to be packed. If you plan on going out to the game, I would advise you to get there early. Whatever time you normally leave, you may want to leave 40 to 45 minutes earlier because everybody is trying to get to this game. It is going to be the hottest ticket in town. And for the folks who went out there Thanksgiving Day, it was packed. This is going to be next level. This one truly matters. This is a game the Cowboys have to have, period. They cannot afford to lose this game. You got to win it. You got no choice. Heck, they got no choice.
I mean, I'm going back to last night's game.
Okay.
I'm going back to last night's game, and it was a point in that game where I said, oh, they're not getting off the hook tonight. I've seen them be down and they make a move to get back, but it was like San Francisco is not letting them up off the mat. They are going to put their foot on their neck and continue to expose the weaknesses, not only in their defense, but on their offense. They just didn't have that whatever it is, je ne sais quoi, to get back in games like they had been before. And, man, the people are lying to us in the media that's saying that running games don't count. Because they do, and you saw it with CMC yesterday. That was the difference. Him being able to run in a phone booth against that defensive line and get to the second level, and the Eagles just can't tackle. I don't know if y'all know. I mean, they have tackling problems, but man, did they expose the back half of that defense.
So heck, and Danny wasn't born in 1983, so he don't know this one like you and I know. This was Clubber Lang.
Yes, sir.
Pain.
What's your prediction?
Pain. That's what they did.
My favorite Rocky, by the way.
It is. Mine too. What's your prediction? Pain. And that's what they came out there talking that noise, ran through their little pregame warm up. Sirianni wanted to get all mad. They talked that talk. They went in there and beat these boys. And you got Debo who talked it, waving at the crowd. Oh, it was fun to watch for me. It was like eating popcorn watch. I enjoyed it.
All that was cool. I think that's one of those things where one team is a little bit. They have more motivation to come in there and try to fight you because they lost. Like, I'm coming to get revenge. I got a little bit more about me when I come in. So, yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit more trash when the other people looking at you like, hey, y'all just enough. We already beat y'all. So, I can understand why Debo and them need to come out and do all that. And also, that's their brand of football. Get a little physical, try to get your head, get a little dirty, and then go out there. and punish you. And they did. And they ain't the only team that the 49ers that punished. I think them being healthy with Debo and Trent Williams on the field at the same time, that's just a hard team for you to defend. That's a hard team for you to defend. Their running game, Brock Purdy slipped a little bit. Brock Purdy's the real deal. He can go out there. Shanahan calls the right plays for him to be able to make them with Ayuk and Debo and CMC and George Kittle. They put on the full show last night. So shout out to them. They was ready. They came out ready to go.
42 points. Philadelphia held to 18 rushes for 48 yards. They're about running the ball, and they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, it was a show.
That's the way you do it.
It was a show.
No, that's the way you do it. I wanted to see it. We talk about their strengths and we talk about their weaknesses, but the strength of their team has been their ability to run and stay balanced. What we saw from San Francisco was them sell out to say you're not going to be able to run the ball. Period. We'll take away everything else. We don't care about giving you A.J. Brown, and they frustrated A.J. Brown so much last night, and maybe that's the key to getting him off his game is just frustrating him because he can be his own worst enemy in those situations. But defensively, they had no answer for the San Francisco 49ers. We've been there. I've seen that kind of pressure put on us. For the last 2 weeks, we looking to evaluating Seattle when they played against San Francisco last week. And now looking at this Philadelphia tape versus San Francisco, you go, man, once they get you in this position where you don't know if they're going to run or whether they're going to pass, they just completely nullify your pass rush.
Now listen, last night's game did not make me feel any better about us. Just so you know, like I wasn't watching the Eagles saying, "Oh yeah, we got a better chance at beating them."
Hold that, because I want to dive deeper into what you just said right there, Danny. That deserves a deeper dive here.
He said that too quick, didn't he?
I watched the game last night.
I want to get a little bit more into that. We're going to take a break, come back here, give us a deeper dive. He's Danny McCray, former Dallas Cowboys safety. I'm Louis Scruggs. He's Heckman Harrison. This is Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Wow. 'Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and former NFL players at AT&T Stadium on December 22nd and 23rd. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at dallascowboys.com/camps.
Come on out.
All right.
Come on out.
Oh,
Come on out. We got a few weeks.
Danny McCray.
We got a few ready to get into this topic, huh? Come on out. Come on, Newey. Let's go.
I just, Heckman and I sitting around here, man, we feeling good.
Yeah,
Feeling good
got
about
to.
watching what we watched here.
Yeah.
I feel like you're trying to just, pour a little salt in those on Monday, or the realism. Maybe it's the realism. Maybe I'm not ready to drink the realism drink just yet, but that's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we do this show. So people.
No, I'm just saying, like, me watching the Eagles get beat down like that doesn't make me feel better about the Cowboys. How I felt about our chances against the Eagles going into that game that they played against San Francisco on Sunday, I still feel the same. And now I feel a little bit more like now the pressure is on both teams. You got a team that just got stomped out like that. They got to respond. Right? Now you're going to get the Cowboys. This is planned for so the Cowboys don't tie you up in the division. You're going to get a really, really good effort out of the Eagles, especially if you wasn't getting the best if they would have won. You're going to get it now because they have to respond. They're in a situation to where they need to get a win. And that's going to, like, the stakes are higher for both teams. But I saw us get stumped out by the 49ers. All right? I know what type of team they are. I know what type of difficulties that they can present to a defense. And we watched it happen with the Philadelphia Eagles, who had barely been hanging on for the last couple weeks. Now they got a shot to sit down and say, all right, well, we got to go see what we got to fix. Cowboys, we need to do that proof time and consistency against teams with winning records. And this is just another opportunity for us to do that against the Eagles. I don't feel like all of a sudden now we found the magic blueprint to go knock the Eagles out. I don't feel that way.
So the thing, old school sitting here, we're sitting on hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
and Cowboy fans right now, you got hopes and dreams of trying to win this division. Won't get the 1 seed if the records all stay the same because San Francisco will own the 1 seed. But
they got Baltimore and some. They got Seattle this week. Yeah,
like I said, if everything stays the same, but you got some hopes and dreams if you're a Cowboy fan right now, and knowing you can get it done. We did the preseason pick. I think all of us, if I check our little magic sheet of integrity,
we did not.
Let me look.
Magic sheet of integrity.
I picked sweep. I'm telling you ahead of time.
Yeah, you did. You didn't believe. You didn't believe.
They lost. What do you mean? We lost in 2 big games already. I was right.
Okay,
that's right.
Hey, man. I'm just saying.
That's right. Listen. See. This is how you trying to paint it. I'm not saying that I don't believe we can beat them. I'm saying how I felt about them after we blew the brakes off of Seattle. Our offense played very well against Seattle. How we played against them, I was like, you know what? We got a shot to be really, really good on offense, and we can beat anybody. I still feel the exact same way about going into this game. I do not feel like now we can go out here and just go blow out the Eagles because all of a sudden chink in their armor and now we done figured out how to beat them. I don't feel that way. I feel like you still need to show up, and this is going to be one of those classic games. I feel like it's going to be one of those.
I don't disagree with you on that. Now, talking to Rodney Harrison today. He was asking me about some things like keys to the game, and heck, one of the things I told Rodney, I said they have got to figure out these doggone penalties. It is still problematic, and it's going to hurt you in a game of this type of magnitude where the team is good. Was it 9 penalties the other night? Nine. And 9 for 127. That's not going to cut it.
No, it's not. And especially when you go up against a team that can score with you. Those undisciplined things that have been happening in Mike McCarthy's tenure here as a coach as something that I'm sure that he's trying to get ahead of and not happen, especially when, like I said, you play a 49ers or you play a Philadelphia team. And also limiting the turnovers as well. You can't turn the ball over versus good teams like that. And I think Dak Prescott's play has shown you that if he don't turn the ball over and the defense can just hold up, we're going to win some really close games and we can blow some teams out. Danny, I just believe this game the Philadelphia's going to play this game the same way. If they had 3 days rest, whatever it is, they're going to play because it's an NFC East divisional game. Look, all I've been looking for when I've been watching Philly is somebody to expose what I've seen. Last week when Buffalo played them, I had the feeling that Josh Allen was already showing it. Look, they are vulnerable. They can be beat, and they had them, and they lit Philadelphia off the hook. They allowed them to get back in that game and win it in overtime. Yesterday versus San Francisco just never let up. And it was those 14 every quarter, 14. You start to break that game down and you start to say, man, San Francisco is on a roll and Philadelphia can't do anything about it. What made me feel good is just basically saying, Tony Pollard, I hope you're watching this game. Because if you can have some success, guys like Brandon Cooks, our third and fourth, our Ferguson, guys like that, they can eat versus this secondary.
And you are right, because I don't want to knock our players. I'm just saying when you look at the guys who were making those type of plays last night, Debo coming out of the backfield, and then you talked about Christian McCaffrey being the guy. Tony Pollard, Christian McCaffrey, not the same player. All right. I think that San Francisco has some different ways of utilizing those players, and then also having a CMC. It's a reason why he's made such a difference since he's been in San Francisco. Actually being probably the main piece of why they're so successful. It's a reason why it's there. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of teams who are not able to handle a team like San Francisco, especially if they get the lead on them like that.
They've proven they're cuttable.
When healthy, absolutely.
What I'm saying is production-wise, a guy like Tony Pollard not only can give you the minutes in the running game, he can also give it to you in the passing game as well. And that's where I draw the comparison between those two. CeeDee Lamb right now is playing better than any wide receiver in the NFC. And you can put Debo's name in there as well. The numbers don't lie.
I'm not saying that. And can we look at Tony Pollard's receiving yards for the last few games? Like if we compare him to Christian McCaffrey, touchdown every game, all that stuff, to me, it's not the same. It's not the same. We don't present the same type of challenges to Philly that San Francisco does to Philly. We did play Philadelphia very well when we played them. It ain't the same. Heck, like
I'm not calling them the same, Danny. I'm saying what they can do as players, as far as the way that you can use them. That's why I said that's why Tony Pollard is so important in this game versus Philadelphia. Not calling him CMC. What I'm saying is if he can have the same type of game production, 17 carries, 97 yards and a touchdown, we need that. If he can have 40 catches, 40 yards, we need that. But also if CeeDee Lamb can have the same type of performance that he had before, which was 191 yards receiving, I'm not asking him to do that again, but still have that type of production, and Ferguson and the other guys that you need, the other cast of characters that you need to show up and have production, we can beat this team.
I just want to be clear, you had 140 total yards for Tony Pollard when you just said that, which I don't like that. That's not a I got to see it continuously to believe that Tony Pollard's going to do such a thing. I believe CeeDee Lamb is going to go ham on these guys. I believe you get Brandon Cooks involved in the game, I think he can be a very impactful player in this game.
Going back into just looking statistically at that Cowboy game, they lost 28-23 in Philadelphia. Brandon Cooks, and we spoke about it, he had one catch in the game for 7 yards and was targeted a grand total of 2 times. CeeDee Lamb in that game had 16 targets, 11 catches. Ferguson had 10 targets for 7 catches. Jalen Tolbert, 5 targets, 3 catches. Michael Gallup, 3 targets, 2 catches. Tony Pollard had 3 catches in that game for 12 yards on 5 targets. And then running the ball, he was 12 of 51 in the game, no touchdowns at all. And as a team, the Cowboys were 27 carries, 73 yards, averaging 3.5. So I think they got to get the run game up in that game there. But to me, I go back to what you said, and then afterwards when it was presented to Mike McCarthy, we saw Cooks go on a run. If they can incorporate Cooks into this, let's say you take the 8 targets you gave Tolbert and Gallup, and you throw 6 to 7 at Cooks, you can have a different game, because we know Philadelphia's secondary is not good. Mm-hmm. It's not good. And oh, by the way, and there's something right in here about, he said, is somebody going to help Terrence Steele this week? I'm like, that's a doggone good question.
Yeah, like San Francisco presented a bunch of different challenges to Philly, and they're going to present a bunch of different challenges to a lot of different teams. I think us against Philly, it's just totally different. Like, we finna play a divisional game. Yeah. We went up there last time, almost like we had a chance to win the game. We played them very well. It wasn't very high scoring, but both teams were making plays. And like you said, Tony Pollard, how many catches for 13 yards, 3 catches for 13 yards, for 12 yards, and then 50 yards rushing? I'm saying that's the difference of like what we would need Tony Pollard to do when you watch what Christian McCaffrey's been able to do to teams. If we want Tony Pollard to be able to do that, like, he's gonna have to show us that he still got that of 97 yards rushing and 40 yards catching. That's a hell of a game, and I would love to see Tony Pollard do that.
So what if it's Tony Pollard playoff against, like he had against the 49ers, against the Philadelphia team? Does that, that kind of...
I'm better with, like, you just have to be able to run it. Like, I'm enjoying to put it all on Dak Prescott. I'm enjoying it because Dak Prescott has been taking care of the ball, throwing multiple touchdowns, getting multiple people involved. But that running game is something that I believe that when you play against teams like that, especially if you're able to get a lead, people that let Philadelphia off the hook, decided not to run the football, if you're able to really have Tony Pollard have a real footprint and impact on this game, then I think it's different. But if you don't, then you're back to playing that same ball that you played last time.
When you look at Dallas, and you look at the wins that they've had, and you look at them versus the San Franciscos and the Philadelphias, you do have to come away with saying we're missing something.
Yeah.
We're missing something. Even with all the success that they've had lately, you're still saying there's something missing. And I'm saying that ingredient has to be the running game. Yeah. That we're not able to expose teams, move the chains, do what we saw last night Christian McCaffrey do. I am not calling Tony Pollard Christian McCaffrey for the record. I'm saying is if you get the production out of your running game, the same that you see San Francisco getting it, you will have that production because then Dak Prescott doesn't have to play to the defense's traps that they're trying to set for him.
And I agree. The only thing I'm saying is San Francisco is they major in running the football and causing confusion with eyes and alignments and motions. They major in that. We are not that team. Like our scheme is not what San Francisco.
Haven't you seen Mike get to a little bit of that though?
No. And I have. I'm sorry to cut you off. I have seen them get to that. I'm saying it's still different for what Shanahan does to what how much you can sprinkle in with what Mike McCarthy's been doing. They major in making sure that your eyes are in the right place, and if they not, it's going to be big runs and big passes all over the place. And that's what they're going to present to any team that they play.
All right, let's get a break in here. Is it an excuse or a reason being used for Philadelphia after yesterday's defeat? Let's dive into that with Heckma Harrison, Danny McCray. I am Newey Scruggs, Players Lounge. Our guy Barry Church off today, mourning the Toledo loss in the MAC championship game. He'll hopefully be healed up back tomorrow right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Experience the most electrifying event of the holiday season, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant. Every Friday and Saturday night through December 16th, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza ignites the star in Frisco with an unforgettable holiday performance showcasing 65 performers, including the world-renowned Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, Santa Claus, and appearances from your favorite Dallas Cowboy football heroes. Visit thestardistrict.com for more information.
Thank you, Heckma Harrison.
Hey, y'all seen the Ali movie?
Yeah.
Will Smith played Ali.
Yeah.
Great movie, right? Do you remember when Ali sitting on the couch waiting to fight Joe Frazier? Joe Frazier is fighting Muhammad Ali, and then Joe Frazier is fighting George Foreman, and then he knock him out. and the look on everybody's face.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what people was doing last night for the Cowboys. They sitting there like, yeah. We
Down goes Frazier.
They like, oh, champ no more.
Down goes Frazier.
You thought you was at this look, but I think got knocked out. I'm like, hey man, listen, I'm glad. I'm glad y'all happy.
It's what it is. I'm telling you, more than anything, it's just that you've seen teams. The Cowboys started it. They had their opportunities to beat this team that was on a roll, on a winning streak, and you're saying to yourself, man, we had every opportunity. You see another team, Miami, come in, up on them, and then they find a way to give the game back to them. Buffalo had them. Find a way to give the game back to them. And then last night, you just had this feeling like, I know you lying. I know you are not about to let them, especially after that first quarter that San Francisco had, which was a horrible first quarter. They just got up off the mat and just started whooping on them.
That should lead you right into your next point. Because the teams you just named that the Eagles beat throughout that whole time with the Dolphins and then go out there and they beat us.
The Bills.
To beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Those are some really good teams. Those are some really good teams. We ain't making excuses for nobody.
Players Lounge.
They gauntlet is on.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. He is Danny McCray, fired up today.
Yeah, he is. That's all right.
I'm Newey Scruggs. And, the Cowboys have
all week long,
and
dog.
Cowboy fans have hopes and dreams available again.
About watching somebody else whoop the Eagles.
We on sideline. Whoop that shit.
Watching somebody else, they like, oh yeah, we here, baby.
I got my phone out. Got my phone out.
Let me tell you something. The guys in the locker room know. They know.
Yes, sir.
We got to bring everything we got.
You had to anyway.
What's on the line? I think it's a little different. I think it means a little bit more at this point because at first you had a little cushion. Now you ain't got no cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
got my phone out. I'm videoing.
So
that whooping.
Don't lose it because you saw them get their butt whooped like that, man.
Checking social media last night. It was a national. And he's based up in New England area, up north. He tweets out that this should not be a shock that the Eagles lost. It was 3 games in 13 days. They had the overtime game against Buffalo. You knew they would be tired. One reason why I did pick Philadelphia to get beat was the fact that, yes, this is a tough gauntlet they were on, especially playing Buffalo. And if you don't know how to navigate it like the Cowboys do, and Danny, you played here, you know about the 3 games in 12 days. If you don't know how to navigate it and you're not ready for it, you can't get got. But the way they got beat up, okay, I thought Philadelphia, because going back here when I picked my game, I thought Philly would lose, and I had them going down 32-26. I didn't think they was going to go in there and get the brakes beat off of them. I mean, they got the brakes beat off of them. But is it an excuse? The whole 3 games in 13 days, or is it a reason why they got it?
If you gave them 10 days rest and they got up next Sunday and played San Francisco, they get their butt beat the same. San Francisco is that good. They have all of the weapons. They have the scheme. And you were just talking about Shanahan and their attention to detail and running the ball the way that they used Kittle yesterday. Dog, I mean, it was checkmate all over the field, dog. There was nothing that Sirianni could do. By the time they got to the fourth quarter, dog, that game was over with. And I was asking myself, why in the hell is Jalen Hurts back in this game? Because it's over with. Mm-hmm. It's over with. And so, I mean, it doesn't matter. The San Francisco proved the point that they wanted to from their playoff loss.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
What you mean?
Because it sounds like you're saying 9 times out of 10, the San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't agree. Agree. I'm not making excuses for the guy. I'm not making excuses for the Philadelphia Eagles. You are correct about the gauntlet, and then how many games you play in a certain amount of days, and sometimes you just get a bad draw coming off the last game that you play in that little series. And I think the draw that they got last night for the San Francisco 49ers to come in after getting beat last year in the playoffs because their quarterback is out.
Danny, are you giving them an excuse?
I said I'm not.
Okay.
They don't have an excuse. You went on the field. You walked out on the field. You played the game. There's no excuse.
You've been off of 3. You played 3 and 12. No one would have gave the Cowboys an excuse. Period. Right?
I'm not taking it there. I'm telling you that playing that many games in that short amount of time, it does take a toll on you. But you stepped out there. You prepared all week, and you played the game. You don't have no excuse for losing, and they didn't make any. This reporter did. I didn't hear none of the Eagles guys in the locker room saying that, hey, this is why we lost. They went out there and they got their butt whooped, and, they're going to take it.
One of the things I have admired about what Mike McCarthy's done in his job here the past few seasons is he's figured out that schedule of how you've got to operate this thing. And if you haven't done it, there's an adjustment period there. And that game against Buffalo, the overtime game takes something out of you. But still, I thought it would be a close game. I did not expect the San Francisco 49ers to come in there and butt stomp them. I mean, that was the part like, I thought they were going to lose.
Stop the fight. Yeah. Stop the fight.
Yes. Throw the damn dog.
That shit look like old Earl Spence. No, let me
Stop the fight.
I think watching that game last night, I do believe that San Francisco is the better team. I don't think they're that much better. I don't think they're that much better to where every time they play them, it's going to look like that. I think that right now they are the better team.
But you would agree. But you would agree that when we played them 42-10, that they were that much better than us.
At that time, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Watching that with my own eye. Oh yeah. It was. Okay. It was.
I mean, it was a replay. It's not like
they
didn't miss a beat.
But then when you watch Philadelphia play the same game, you say, "Oh, they could play better than what they."
I'm saying. No, I'm sorry. They're better than us. They're not 40-10 better than us. I'm saying they are better. I still believe at that point they were a better team than we were.
They Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I don't think they're not. They're not because this is gonna happen. Because this is the NFL. This is the NFL. As soon as you put the team up there on the pedestal, okay, they're gonna go out there. They got Seattle. They got Seattle this week. They got Baltimore. They still gotta play. I'm watching what the Green Bay Packers doing. You look at Kansas City, who we was talking about at the time. That's the league.
You see that? This is crazy.
That's the league.
That's my point.
Did Spence sign that rematch yet? I don't think they got that on paper.
I don't think they got that on paper.
I'm leaving him alone, bro. I didn't say the full thing. Shout out to
you brought it up.
I said I know, and you won't let it go. We ain't heck been off of that. We been off. Hey, we talking about something else.
Stop the fight.
And then he said,
and I let it go. It's over.
It's all good.
Watch for the next 20 minutes. Like you gonna be thinking about it.
It's all good. I feel you.
Will Smith in there. He can't stop,
He
bro.
won't. Don't give him something. Don't give him a bone.
Nope. I got nothing. I got nothing. Hey man, listen. I know church will be back and all this stuff. We better show up.
It's a fun week, man. It's a fun week all week long. Sunday night football on NBC. The Eagles come to town. They call it Dallas week up there. You might as well call it Eagles week this year.
Other boys week.
Because at the end of the day, you got what you want. You want this. You got hopes and dreams in front of you. The Cowboys have to respond. People talk about you ain't beat a winning team all year long. Okay, here you go. Even though Seattle was 6-5, you know who they are. You know what this is about. No excuses. Get it done.
How many opportunities do you get to prove that you belong? This is another one, right?
Yeah, because we done failed.
We done failed. No,
failed quite a few.
We done failed quite a few, and here we get another opportunity to prove it. And that's all you can ask for, especially with the playoff seeding being where it is right now. You have an opportunity to take advantage of the Eagles team that's coming off a loss. You win this game, you tie the NFC up. And as far as that top seeding, and we've been talking about their home playoff winning rate, the rate that they've been winning at home, and how this team deserves to play a game at home. And if they're able to get this win, get some luck from the Baltimores and other people in the other divisions versus San Francisco, they possibly could find themselves at number one.
They got to do their part. Live up to it.
This is a very important game going into the last stretch of the season.
Of course.
This is a very important game just because the way you started the season with your first measuring stick game, and then you got your second measuring stick game. Now you finna get your third one before you go into what is probably one of the toughest endings to the seasons that I've ever seen in my entire life.
You're right.
This December's rough, baby.
So to start it off with the confidence and the momentum of beating the Philadelphia Eagles, tying it up for first place, it is huge. It is huge. And to me, it will be a huge letdown for us not to take advantage of this opportunity.
Shout out to your Houston Texans, too, by the way. It's a hell of a game. If you watch that game, it's a hell of a game.
I think I only missed one this week. I think it might have been the Eagles.
The Eagle game.
That's correct.
Yeah.
What was mine, CBZ?
So,
give me a second.
I think I'm in the same. I think I'm not.
You did. You picked the Houston. You picked the Texans after I picked. I'm just saying, hey man, the boy good. Russ cooking, huh? Oh, and you got the Patriots. You picked the Patriots, didn't you? Nah, it was you. No shake yet. You picked them.
It's in the days for Bill. It's in the days for Bill.
Knew he picked the Patriots.
It's in the days for Bill. They asked him, like, hey, you want to coach this team next year? I'm just worried about trying to play Pittsburgh. I'm like, oh, he don't even want to be around this number. They're about to get the number 1 pick, man. Look, we got to talk about this all week long right here. It's going to be fun. Heckman Harris, appreciate you stopping by today.
Stopping by?
Yes,
I'll be here tomorrow.
Yes, sir. All week.
You stopped by that season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold up, man.
We're going to rescue Mary Church off the golf course in Toledo. See if we give him this $42, they might have won that MAC championship. Danny McCray.
National champion.
Love it, man. Love it.
CFP, you got to vote. You got to vote.
I ain't got to vote.
What?
I ain't got to vote. I would have voted that way.
Who you got, Washington, Texas?
Oh, that's tough. But I'm going Texas.
Wait, Derek, come on, man. Derek ain't going to do that to you.
All right, man. Look, I'm from the great city of Houston and the great state of Texas. What are you talking about? I'm from Washington. I'm all right.
You going with I might be going with the fighting Isaiah Standbacks, man. Huskies.
You got. We know you're not gonna pick nobody.
Oh, he gonna roll tide. He gonna roll tide out.
You said Washington, Texas. You know what?
Who?
Purple and gold with the dogs. I got to roll with them purple and gold dogs.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. But all your bros, they going with it.
Good for them.
Okay. All right.
Good for them.
Yo, good
Stand
for them.
alone, man.
There ain't no loyalty in this game.
Good for them.
Stand alone. Oh, yeah. Another thing about the NFC West. Goodness gracious, the Cardinals all of a sudden have become. You go up in there slipping, and you can lose that game too. So I'm looking at San Francisco as one of those teams where you still got the Rams who are surging. You got the Arizona Cardinals where Kyler Murray's playing for us. You got Seattle. So, yes, the Cowboys have a real opportunity here to really make some noise.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
He tried to squash it. He tried to squash it at the beginning, and then he gave us a hope at the end.
I just seen the way y'all was smiling because y'all seen the other team get beat like that. Y'all smiling like it's going to help us. That don't help us.
You like that picture.
We don't have that whooping ain't got nothing to do with us. No, it don't.
That don't mean I can't enjoy it.
You can enjoy it.
That's all I'm enjoying. All right, Chris Beamer, appreciate you, Jazz, Big Will, Josh, everybody a part of this. We will talk to you tomorrow right here on the Players Lounge, DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?